Hey guys, welcome to your distributive property video lesson. Please have your video packet in front of you, and let's begin with some vocabulary. So if you have some markers or highlighters, I strongly urge that you pause this video and go get them, because it's going to make this definition a lot easier to look at when you highlight it the way that I did. Okay, so the definition of the distributive property is that the distributive property lets you multiply a sum, meaning a bunch of numbers being added, by multiplying each addend separately. Addend is each of the numbers you will be adding, and then add the products. Okay, so what does that mean? So here are two examples. 5, and then in parentheses we read this as times the quantity of x plus 2. So what we're going to do is take this x plus 2, and we're going to times each of them by 5, and then add their answers together if we can. So 5 times x becomes 5 times x, and we're going to take the 2 and also times that by the 5, so that becomes 5 times 2, or 10. Okay, and we can skip this second example because we're not going to do double variables. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. So for this series, we are going to do another 5 examples. And I included the definition of distributive property on the top just so you can kind of learn it and remember it, because it is a pretty unique definition. So the distributive property lets you multiply a sum by multiplying each addend separately and then add the products. Just a little note, you can't always add the products, so you might want to put in parentheses if possible. So this says 5 times 2c plus 7. So what we're going to do is take 2c plus 7. I can't add these together because I can't take a coefficient and add it to a constant. So I'm going to take the 5 on the outside and times each of these two numbers by 5. So what I like to do is draw some arrows like this. So 5 times 2c looks like this. 5 times 2c, bring the plus sign down, and then 5 times 7 looks like this. Now I'm going to just reduce the 5 times 7 to get, and the 5 and the 2, to get 10c plus 35. Not sure what that sound was. Okay, so here's example number 2. Pause anywhere you need. So example 2, we have negative 6 times 2b plus 5c. So I can't add these two coefficients because their variables are different. So I'm going to multiply the negative 6 to both of these terms. So negative 6 times 2b plus, I'm going to take this negative 6 times it to the 5c. Okay, now I'm just going to reduce it and combine it. So negative 6 times 2b is negative 12b plus negative 30c. What you could also do is write it as negative 12b minus 30. If that step confuses you, just forget about it, okay? All right, if you need to pause, pause here. Otherwise, I'm moving on to example 3. Okay, in example 3, we have 2 times the quantity of 3v minus 8. So I'm going to take 3v and 8 and times each of these addends by 2. So 2 times 3v. The minus sign comes down, and I'm going to take 2 and times it to 8. So I get 2 times 8. So 2 times 3v is 6v. Bring the minus sign down, and 2 times 8 is 16. All right, here's example number 4. Example 4, we're going to take the -3 and times it to 4 and the 5j. I'm going to take each of these addends and times them both by -3. So -3 times 4. I'm going to bring the minus sign down. And I'm going to take -3 and times it to 5j. All right, I just put parentheses around both because I'm trying to keep this -3 away from this minus sign. Okay, so -3 times 4, I'm now just going to simplify. That gives me -12. I bring the minus sign down. -3 times 5 is -15, and then bring the j down. Now I'm going to take this minus and apply the add the opposite rule. So it becomes -12. This first minus, I'm going to change to plus. So if I make this plus, I'm going to make this -15j its opposite, so 15j. For this example, I do want you to rewrite, so this is the solution I am looking for. Okay, we have one more example. Remember, pause anywhere you need to write down the examples. Okay, finally we have -6 times the quantity of 8p plus 3. So I cannot add 8p plus 3. So I'm going to take each of these addends and multiply it by the 6 that's right outside. So -6 times 8p is -6 times 8p. The plus sign comes down, and I'm going to take -6 times 3. Okay, so both of my addends, the red and the blue, are both being times by 6. And now I'm just going to multiply to reduce the problem down. So -6 times 8p is 48p negative. Bring the plus sign down. And -6 times 3 is -18. Okay, if you have any questions, please write them down and bring them to class tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.